Today I'm going to be going through some of my favourite apps, not just for gaming PCs, but PCs in general. Now, there's no rules or restrictions about what apps I can choose or anything like that. These are literally just apps that I think are really cool and you should probably have a look at. As a small disclaimer, it is hot as balls in the UK today, so if I'm looking particularly shiny, or you can hear my room fan in the background, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it. It is too hot to turn that fan off. Now, the first app we're gonna talk about is one that I'm actually a little bit late to the party on this app, and that is Power Toys. I mainly use this app for workspaces. I find it incredibly handy being able to have some presets, click it, and it just loads up the apps that I need in the place that I want them on my PC. It's an extremely useful feature of this app, and to be honest, I couldn't really live without it at this point. Power Toys is a great little application that uses very few resources, and as you can see from these presets I've got, this is a one-click application for you to set your desktop up however you need it to do whatever work or play you want to do. I currently have a few saved, including video editing, photo editing, gaming, and solo gaming. Everything loads exactly where I need it to be and everything else gets minimized. It's extremely handy, and whilst it doesn't save a massive amount of time, it's still nice that I don't have to worry about where to drag my windows and stuff. It just does it for me. Now, this app has a ridiculous amount of functionality, and it's something I've barely scratched the surface of. Power Rename, for example, where you can rename loads of files all in one go. This is extremely useful, especially if you've got a home NAS or you run a Plex server or Jellyfin or something like that. This can be an absolute lifesaver. And the best bit is it's integrated straight into Windows. When you right click on whatever files it is you want to rename, it is right there for you to click on. Text extractor, which means that you can extract text from an image, which is really handy. Now, I don't know if any of you have had the issues where you've tried to extract text from a PDF, but you haven't got the right PDF program. This thing does it beautifully. You load it up, find what image you want, and then just copy and paste the text from it. It's not 100% accurate, but it's really impressive. Color Picker is absolutely fantastic. You happen to see a color on your desktop that you like the look of, whether it's in a browser, in a game, on a program, whatever it is. Load up Color Picker, choose whichever pixel it is on your desktop, and it will tell you the hexadecimal code for that color. Extremely handy, especially for creatives. You've also got Fancy Zones. Now, this is a little bit similar to Workspaces, except instead of it loading up programs and snapping them where you've told it to, this just gives you a lot more options when it comes to window snapping. So you're not just limited to whatever the default ones are you get in Windows. This is a great little app, and like I say, I have barely scratched the surface of it, but I feel like it's one that's been slept on. Out of all the customer computers I've done over the last 5 years, I have barely ever seen this installed, and yet it's a really handy app. Might be worth checking out if you've not already. The second program I'm going to talk about is going to get me in some hot water with quite a lot of you, I imagine. The next app is a media player, and I know exactly what you're all screaming. VLC player, it's got to be VLC player. And whilst I like VLC player, and the developers are absolute goat, and it has every codec known to man that it will play. When it comes to 4K playback and scrubbing through 4K footage, I have a very big issue with VLC. It does not perform quick enough for me, and it's really disappointing. I have tried every setting that I can think of under the sun to try and improve its performance, and it comes up short. So VLC player is not my choice of media player. Be as angry as you want about that. My media player of choice right now is Pot Player. Now, this is one that I've only been using for the last, I think, about 6 months, and it's been absolutely fantastic. It has everything that I need, and I love the fact that you have a little side panel that has automatically got every video file that's in that folder there, ready to be played. It loads up quick, it can play 4K footage without any issues, and there is no lagging when I'm skipping through the footage. It's just a really seemingly lightweight and working media player, and that's what I need. Now, VLC still has a place in my tech sphere, and I understand the absolute groundbreaking work that VLC and the developers that made VLC have done, and I still do use it. I use it on my laptop if I want to watch any of the videos that are on my NAS, and I use it on my TV. My TV has a native VLC app, and I use that to watch whatever videos I want off my NAS. It works really well. But when it comes to my actual PC, when I'm sitting down, I need to go through this footage, because I do film in 4K, it means I have to use Pot Player, otherwise VLC is just sluggish and slow and really annoying. The next app I'm going to talk about is a browser. Now, usually I would use Google Chrome. I have the resources where it being an incredibly heavy application for a browser. Doesn't really bother me too much, and I like how it's integrated into Sheets, Docs, Drive, and everything else. But recently I have been moving towards Firefox. Now I know Firefox has had its peaks and valleys when it comes to how popular it is, but I quite like that Firefox is a little bit more privacy driven than what Google is, and I love the customization around it. Not only that, but it is a much more lightweight and is so much quicker than what Google is. That, along with the fact that the extensions in Firefox actually work. I've had a consistent issue with Google Chrome extensions either not working or not working as intended, and to be honest, I just kind of bypass them and don't use them anymore on Google Chrome. So having extensions that actually work in Firefox is awesome. Along with its low resource usage, being a little bit more private, being open source, it just works. And that's exactly what I want for a browser. And to be honest, that will be my recommended browser going forward, at least for the time being. Now, the next one is actually a couple of apps, and this is a bit of a weird one because it's not apps that I'm recommending people install and leave install, but they're really helpful and useful applications that you can use in a few different ways. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is Malwarebytes. Now, I love this program, and it has done me well in all of the years that I've worked doing tech repair. This little free bit of software manages to catch malware and viruses and other stuff when you're scanning it that mainstream antiviruses aren't. I have had multiple computers that have had Norton, Avast, McAfee, and you've run a full scan. Takes most of the night to run this scan, and they have missed stuff that Malwarebytes has picked up in minutes. Their scan takes minutes, and it is awesome. I'm a massive fan of Malwarebytes. This is a program that I would advise to install, but it is also a program I would advise to install, do the scan, and then uninstall it. Don't bother wasting your resources with it running in the background. Just install it, use it, uninstall it, and you're good to go. And the next one is CCleaner. Now, I know the popularity of this program has been a little bit up and down. I've used it for a lot of years, and it's always been absolutely sound. It's basically a one-stop shop to get rid of your temporary internet files, clear your caches, and sort out any potential registry issues. Editing your registry is not always a good thing, and ensure, I don't know if it still does it automatically, but ensure you back up your registry somewhere that you can easily get to it if something does go wrong, because it can cause problems. However, this little bit of software has solved some random blue screen crashes for me more times than I care to count. Random blue screens that can't be explained. Random stop codes that don't really mean anything. No matter how far and wide you search for the problem, you cannot work out what is going on. Run CC Cleaner, run the registry cleaner thing, and it sorts it. Now, this isn't gonna work every single time, but the amount of times it has worked for me, absolutely amazing, absolutely love it. I will often install it, use it, and then uninstall it. It's not something I want to keep on because it can be quite aggressive with pop-ups and clean this and go for pro and all this other stuff that is just annoying. But if you have a potential issue and you're having blue screens and you can't figure out what the problem is, it's worth a try using the registry cleaner in CCleaner and seeing if that works. And now we're on to the second portion of this video. Now, this is completely separate from the first because this I am just talking to the gamers. What are the apps and the programs that a gamer should have on their computer? Well, you've got some incredibly obvious ones. The first one being Steam. I'm a massive fan of Steam. Valve to me are a great company that I have a lot of respect for. They don't get everything right, and not everything that they do makes sense. The Steam machine being the one that comes into my head straight away. The price of that is an absolute joke. But the best thing about Valve is their game launcher. Not only is everything just there, they have such a massive library of games. And you can argue about the 30% cut on whether or not they should or shouldn't and all the rest of it. But with an amazing refund policy, their customer service is so fast and they're so willing to help. And they always seem to do the right thing for that person, which is great. I'm sure there are stories where they haven't, but in my experience and the stories that I've seen, 9 times out of 10, their customer service is absolutely perfect. Their friend list integration, the amount of things that you can customize in your game launcher, your performance overlays, how it just works. Being able to open games in tabs, which was a feature I was so happy to see when it came to the Steam application. There are so many things that I like about Steam. Their voice chat is fine, their group chats is fine, the texting on it is absolutely fine. Steam isn't a perfect launcher. There are some issues with it. In my opinion, it's the best game launcher we've got, and every gaming PC should have Steam on it. But it's not the only game launcher that you should have. There are two other game launchers that I would highly recommend for most people to have on a gaming PC. One is Epic Games, purely because you get free games every month. That is the only reason. And if you're ever stuck for a game to play, give them a crack and see if they're any good. The second one is GOG, purely because they are the only game launcher that guarantees that you own your game. And I absolutely love that. I do not buy enough games on GOG, and that is something that I need to fix, because what an incredible game launcher. For them to even go to the point now of you can burn your games to discs so that you can have your files there on a disc like you used to back in the day is amazing. GOG is a great launcher, and their policy when it comes to you owning your data is second to none, and I could not hype them up more for this. Other game launchers should take note of it, because I can see the popularity of GOG just going up and up and up, because what they do makes sense. The next piece of software is one that you will have seen coming a mile off. I have no doubt about it, and that's Discord. Now, there are better options than Discord, but Discord has one major thing going for it. Everyone's on it. Discord is not a perfect application by any stretch of the imagination. When you first install it and use it for the first time, it is a very confusing layout. It doesn't explain well enough at all how the servers work, how your direct messaging work, how the voice chats work, how the different rooms in the servers work, and all of that. It is extremely confusing. Once you get used to it though, it kind of makes a lot more sense as to how it works and how it's laid out, and the fact that the voice chat just works. Not only that, but it is such a repository of information. If you need to find out something about near enough anything, there is probably a Discord for it, and people just sat there waiting to help you. I have had no end of helpful advice from different Discords, and it can be a genuinely awesome community as long as you get the right Discord channel. The next application I'm going to talk about is one that I advise every customer I have with a gaming PC to install, and that is MSI Afterburner. I love this bit of software. It's lightweight, you can control the fan curve on your graphics card, you can overclock your graphics card, and its integration with reverse statistics so that you can have an overlay is amazing. It is a powerful bit of software that I love using, and I quite like tinkering around with. Getting your overlay just right when you're playing a game for the things that you want to monitor, for whatever reason that you want to monitor, is awesome. Its benchmarking tool is really, really handy, and I can't hype this app up enough either. It's just good. Being able to control your fan curve is probably my favorite thing about this program, because GPU manufacturers can be quite aggressive on their fan curves, and some graphics cards need that. But a lot of manufacturers go over the top with this. And being able to set your own fan curve so that your graphics card is as loud as you want it to be is amazing. I absolutely love this program. And that's it. But what do you guys think? Is there any applications that are an absolute must-have for you on a PC? Is there any applications that are a must-have for you on a gaming PC? And is there any that you completely and utterly disagree with and you would tell people not to install on your PC? Drop me a comment down below and let me know. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye.